Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're gonna do some paper piecing. We're gonna be using this plate from Gina K, and I'm gonna show you my way. Instead of cutting the design several times, we're gonna cut the design 2 times, and we're gonna color on the pieces. Right? I'm going to use watercolors. So I have in here my brushes. I have water, paper, obviously the watercolor. Just this piece of acrylic that I'm using as palette. And I already cut the design once with the paper that I'm going to use as the front, and then the other one with the watercolor. And this one I already have it on here. I have the press and seal, and this is, I mean, optional. You can use one of those sticky mat and then stick that in there, and then obviously push everything so it's completely stick to the mat. That will make it easier because we're gonna paint all these pieces in here, and you're probably thinking that's gonna be a little hard. Well, I'm gonna show you my method, and if you like it, great. If not, it's okay with me, but this is just the way that I do this. And I like to show different ways to do the same thing. I think I need a pin to push this little center in here. I want to make sure that when I pull this, I have at least as many pieces as possible pressed to the paper, the press and seal paper that I'm using. I still have one in here, 1 or 2. I'm going to position these ones later. Let's put them in here. Okay. Now I'm going to remove this one also, because we're using that one. And this might be a 2-for-1. So we have this one in here, and yeah, so much work, and we're gonna put it back. Yes, we are. Yeah, missing that one, that it goes in there, and then this one in here. It's good. And these two that I tried to position them on the right way, I fail on that. Now my plate is, if that happened, pull that one out. The other one is this one in here. Sometimes it's just faster if you just pull the whole piece out and then lay down one. That piece, one by one. I'm going to position this again. And then we're going to press all this. And if you're using one of those sticky mats, that's actually probably better. I have one piece in here that is resistant. This is one of those that I try to position it, that one, and it moved. All right, so this is good enough. All right, so press this in here, and I'm gonna remove this white board that I have in here. Okay. So this is not a live video, so I can cut these pieces, but I'm lazy and I don't want to edit too much. Just edit enough to put my name in there. All right. So things move a little bit. Again, not what I wanted. Couple things move, but that's fine. What we want is to get all this area exposed so we can start painting in there. Let's get my watercolor wet. I'm using this spray bottle that I love. And I'm just gonna do a very simple watercoloring in here. I'm gonna go with pink and purples. I love those colors. Maybe a little bit of orange in there. I'm just gonna start with a very light shade of the pink, and I'm just gonna go over. You see how easy? I'm gonna stay away from what it is, the green, the leaves. So this is gonna be my first one in here. Let's pick a different color. Let's do a purple. The first layer that I'm doing in here is the lighter one. And I'm gonna do one and yeah, kind of orangey type. Put my colors in here. All right. Now I'm going to add more colors to the others, and I'm going to start with the bottom one. This is the color that I'm using for that one. And I'm just going to drop some color. Still wet. So I'm going to drop colors around. And move to the next one, same thing. If it gets too dry, then the effect of the color dispersing is not gonna be that much. And then be careful with the press and seal because it gets on my nerves. So what you can do is you can add another layer of water if you want the color to blend a little better. Or you can just put the color and then use water to blend a little bit. Before it gets too dry, Now that I added a little bit of water, I'm going to go back and just put a little more of the darker color. And the border, this is the center as it's getting closer to the flower itself, not the outside of the petal. So that's where I'm gonna put the darker color. And a little more darker on the center. Let's go full intensity on that one. Okay. This is kind of surprised a little bit because you really don't know how dark it's gonna get until it gets dry, and it's always, or how lighter I should say, because you always lose some color with the watercolor. It's gonna dry lighter. So for this one, I'm just gonna go again right away, darker color, because it got dry, and then I put too much in this one, so I'm gonna remove a little bit, and then I can add the color. Okay. And as you can see, I'm not being really perfectionist in here. I want to get everything a little more organic. Kind of, you know, natural, naturally messy. I'm adding a little more colors on this one. Maybe bringing a little bit of yellow on the outside. This one moved a little bit. And I'm going to use my brush to get to those areas because I can see this is lifted. So I'm sticking the brush in there just to get to the inside. Let's go again with this one. Okay, put some color in here. I do watercolors. I love doing watercolor, but I do like to do these simple techniques, that is dropping the color in here and then, you know, make it fun, right? So I'm getting the leaves wet, and I'm working on those that are around the flower, and I'm bringing my colors in here. I'm going to use this green in here, a little pale green. more like um, what type of color is this one? I can't even remember. I probably have the list of the colors somewhere around. I'll tell you exactly which one is that one. It's green dip. No, that's not the one. Yeah. I think I have this all mixed. All right, so yeah, it's green dip, but I'm adding enough water in there so I can get just a little bit of the darkness on the part that is closer to the flower. And I'm just gonna let it do its magic on its own. Do the same for the other ones. Very quick, light brush in here. Dry your brush. Pick up the pure color. I have put a little bit of water, but it's not as dark as the first layer. And then drop the color closer to the flower. And because it's still wet, you're gonna see how it's moving. And you can actually force it to move. Try your brush a little bit and then help that to move. Go to the one above. More water so I can dilute the color, make the color lighter. That's how we make the color lighter with watercolors. You add water. This one is part of that type of leaves. Then I'm taking the pure one, the pure color, and dropping a little bit. And I'm using this brush that has that very, very thin tip. Quill brushes 11. And then let it move in there. Okay. And if you feel like you have to add a little more green, darker, and one, come back and do that. Trying to get to those little pieces, little areas. Okay. I have two other type of leaves. Like these ones are the ones that they're coming out of the flower, and these ones are on the stem. So I'm gonna give it a little different shade of green to those. I have a green in here that is like sea green. This is blush green. It's really like blue green, and I'm gonna mix it with the green that I had before. Let's put some water. Yeah, this is very, very bluish now. Let's add a little more. It's okay, it makes it different than the one that we have in there. And it gives you variety, which I'm okay with that. Let's add a little bit of yellow green in here, and I'm just putting that on the tip, and then I'm gonna dry my brush and then blend those in there. And then just help them to come together. I'll do the same in here. Drop it on the tip. Dry my brush. And then help them to come together. Without getting totally mixed in there. Still have to do the stem, and for that I'm going to add a little bit of sepia. And I went straight in there. Yeah, that's a pretty green. I like that one. I see that I have this part of the leaf not green yet. And I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, and I'm gonna just keep it like that. I'm kind of like it like that, but if you feel like after it gets dry you need a little extra color, like right away I can tell that I lost a lot of my values in there. I can add it right away, but you can always do this later on, add some extra detail. We're not going for perfection. Just want to have something different. Same thing with the flowers, especially the orange one on the top. I think I lost a lot of the values in there. Like I mix a lot of colors and then lost the dark colors in there. Bring that flower down. It's lifted because water went under, and it gets a little harder to visualize. So I'm gonna just make the center darker. And then just let it dry. I'm gonna stop the video while it's getting dry. You can also carefully use a heating gun, a heating tool. Don't forget that you have the press and seal in there. So I'm gonna let it dry on its own. I think, yeah, it's not totally dry, but it is dry enough for me to start pulling this away. So there's going to be a little bit of a line possibly in some of them. Why? Because especially in this one, my flower moved, petals moved a little bit. So I might have some lines, but I try to go in with the brush. So I probably, oh yeah, I don't care too much about this one in here, although once you finish with this, if you see that you have something really kind of cool on this one, you can use it too. I do like the effect of the flowers. In this case, I'm trying to be a little more careful. I'm trying to leave all the flowers in position. All the pieces, I should say. Yep. All right. I kind of like it. See if I can zoom in here so you can see it better. Now that white part that you see in the background, in the back, is from when my prison seal got stuck to the other paper that I had. But I do have in here just a little piece in here. So I'm gonna help that one. It's a lot of the white, and I since it's watercolor, I just have to move the color a little bit. But in some of them, I do have some white. That doesn't bother me. Actually, I like it. A little bit of white in there. I give it like a highlights, right? So what are we gonna do with this? Well, I told you that we still have to cut maybe one piece, additional piece, if you want to use it just like that. Then take the present seal, put it on top in here, and then transfer everything to the card, and it will be something like that. I mean, it looks gorgeous in there. For me, I already cut one, and I again did the same trick of the present seal. This one came out perfect, of course. I wasn't recording that one. And I'm just gonna position this one in here the best of my abilities. And that's how I'm gonna put it. And then I'm gonna flip this and transfer this to a card. I think I'm gonna wait a few more minutes and make sure that that one is completely dry. Right? And then I'm gonna come back and finish with this. Okay, so this is completely dry. And I was thinking to flip everything and then peel, but then that's gonna be a little harder than just keeping the pieces in there and then use the traditional way. But yeah, no, after I put all this in here. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, again, the traditional way, is because I'm going to try to clean that part in there. I'm going to show you what to do with that. Unless you want to cut another one. So I got a little bit of the ink in here. And I cut the panel 3.5 by 6 in here. Actually, I think I'm going to cut it different, because I want to have like an even size again, round. I think I cut that wrong, yeah. It could be, yes. All right, so let me cut this. Okay, all right. We have a better, more even situation in there. All right, so what am I gonna do with that in there? I have two options in here. There is something called bleed proof white, and I have a portion in here. I have a little bit in here, and I can just dab that, put it a little bit in there. Or I can go with water, clear water. And I'm just gonna get some of clean water. And a clean brush. And this is watercolor. So I can try to lighten up this as much as possible. The only thing, this paper that I have in here is not watercolor. So it's not gonna be as easy to move the paint. It won't move as easy as in other. Right? So I'm gonna end up using my bleed proof white. And I'm just gonna drop a little bit, especially now that it's wet, better, because it's gonna absorb. It's not that much, so I don't have to put that much in there. I just have to let it dry a little bit. I'm not gonna go make you go through the process of me gluing this in here and taking the pieces, going piece by piece, putting them in there. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna come back when it's done, so I can show you the final product, right? See you soon. Okay, welcome back. I have one more piece to put in here. I already put the glue. It took a while to finish this and to put all these pieces in here. While I was doing that, my camera died, battery. So I decided to use the time to finish other things. I do have in here some of these sequences. This sequence are the disco ball from Gina K, the little ones. And I was just testing if, you know, kind of put them in there and then checking if they would go okay or not. And this one in here is actually intentionally, oops, it is stuck to my pen. All right. It's actually perfect in there, covering a little splash of color. And I'm just dropping them around the flowers. My goal is to make them look like, you know, your eyes move around while you're looking for those little sequences, little glittery detail in there. Now, I also got a message. You made me happy. And I put this foam in here. And I decided that I wanted to put it right in there. I don't want to cover that leaf that I like that much, neither the flowers. So this is my card. And like I said, while I was finishing this one and waiting for my phone to charge, I decided to use the rest of the things that I have. Remember, we colored the flowers, and we used the other part of the watercolor paper to color the flowers. And I had that left over, and this is what I did. I put a background in black. I added a very, very little sentiment, hello. And I added some splashes in green and the color of the corresponding flower around. That's my card number 2. Now I still have the insert from this card in here. Oh, by the way, I don't know if it's possible for you to see it from here. the dimension that these flowers have, because the paper is maybe 80 pounds, and that's the background, and the flowers, they're 140, and it's the very thick watercolor paper, so it gives you some dimension in there without doubling the card. So I still have the flowers from this background in here, and I wanted to do something. I mean, I think this is bold, but then I went with something really, really bold. I used this Thinking of You is from Gina K, and what I did is that I put it the hidden boson, and then I glue all the flowers around. Now, hard to see it on the camera, but I put a coating of shimmer on all part. I think we might be able to see it in there. It's a pearl white on the flowers, and I also use those disco balls. And this little black one in here, they're also Gina K. So these are the 3 cards that I ended up making with my initial project, that it was to make the one in the middle. And I hope you like them. And if you like them, then like my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.